us out there because we care about the clients. We care about them understanding their own numbers, and they have the tools to be able to do it. And they think it's hard, don't get me wrong, but as soon as you sit down with them, they're like, oh, this is pretty easy. I could do my own bookkeeping.
Yeah.
You know, they might not want to, but if they want to save a couple of dollars, which I agree, then they should be looking at that because they're going to know their business and their transactions better than anyone.
Maybe initially.
Yeah.
But then their time won't serve them.
Correct.
Yeah, but I truly believe that every business owner should do their bookkeeping at the start, just to get wrap your head around it.
Yeah.
Wrap your head around it to know that, okay, cool, I understand how this, because it's a very important part of your business.
Oh, absolutely.
Ridiculously important part. And I understand how this works now. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to do it anymore after that, but until you have your head wrapped around it and you know where every dollar's going, and you should know that we spend this much on subs and this much on this and this much on general expenses and the unit rent is this much. And you should know. The thing that made me realize I didn't know my numbers was someone asked me what my GP was, and I just looked at him. I said, GP? Yep. George Passes. And I was like, oh, it's probably X.
Yeah, and that's like 90% of the people.
Yeah, I was like, it's probably around here. And then they're like, yeah, but what is it? I'm like, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And then he's like, do you have it broken down per service? And I was like, oh, no. Like, you know what I mean? Not at all.
Yeah.
And then that was the thing. Yeah. I need to learn about the shit.
But once you come in and then you sort of understand that, you know, you've got your chart of accounts set up correctly, and then you can allocate them.
No one teaches.
That's right. Yeah. So unless you have a look at the file, or, you know, you understand where the numbers need to format, then you can know where your GP is, because we see so many clients come on board with their chart of accounts is wrong. So even though they're allocating correctly in subscriptions or rubbish removal, we see that below the general profit line.
It should be in a direct cost.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about changing that from day one and helping the client to set up their chart of accounts. And like I said, with the availability that they have, they're probably on zero once a day anyway. Or like we were going before about the role of your business partner. That might be your spouse. If, you know, in construction, we find that the gentleman's always on site and she's helping with the books. You know, that's where we sit in the room with her and him, but in that regard. But it's about education and fixing their chart of accounts, because once it's in, it's so simple. The allocation wise is so simple. And because of automation, you can put rules on Bunnings and Mitre 10 and subby names and things like that to automate, to reduce their compliance costs. But again, our goal is to make sure that they know their own, know your own GP.
Yeah.
Know your net.
You recently, when you just walked in here before, you just got back from overseas, and you mentioned that you had 3 weeks away and you did not read a single email or phone call. Or not read, you didn't respond to a single email or phone call whilst you're away.
Yeah, so it's been a long journey in order to get that. So the goal of this trip, which very fortunate to say, was that the team need to be up and running by themselves. And that starts with your mobile phone. I've had the same mobile phone number from day one, right? So across the 15,000 clients that we've helped, everyone's got that mobile number. So everyone would ring it. You know, it didn't really matter for them because everything's vitally important.
That's the office number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone would ring if they're going to buy a new car, you know, what color socks to wear. Should I sack this person? This person's not working out. Should I hire? So you get calls all throughout the day. So my first goal was to leave that mobile number at work. So what we've done over the past few years with an executive assistant is to sort of transition, you know, the client communication being centralized. Because as a business owner, you get Facebook Messenger, text message, email, phone call, WhatsApp, you know, and you get lost, and then you turn around at the end of the day as a business owner, you're like, what the hell did I do? I didn't do anything, but I answered a lot of communication. Right?
You're very reactive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was about trying to centralize all of that. And again, as an accountant, as a technician in accounting, I didn't know how to plan. And I'll put my hand up. I didn't know how to centralize all of my communication because I was just available to everyone. And then that was the goal of this trip. You know, everything comes through Margaret, our executive assistant, and then she can dissect what's vitally important for myself. So I spoke to Margaret often while I was overseas, but things that could just go to the staff or to the team would directed to them appropriately. Because sometimes in business, you're like, should I delegate it? Oh, fuck it, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah, just as
'Cause it's
quick,
quicker.
It's quicker.
But when you've put in parameters in place and processes in place, that this is the way that we need to move forward, because it not only grows yourself, but it grows your team. So that, everyone stepped up while I was away, which is great, because you have an addiction to your phone, and that's where your time goes.
And your emails.
Yeah, the first thing I've done for the past, 13, 14 years of running our own business is, first thing every morning is you look at other people's agendas.
Yeah.
How can I help you?
How they can
Fine odds, fix payroll issues, lodgements, too much tax, not enough tax, help me with the banks.
It's a nice feeling to clear out your inbox though.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, okay, like that's one of the things I need to do today, and it's kind of sorted for now. And it'll fill up again soon.
Yeah.
But like I've ticked it off and thought it down. I've cleaned it up a little bit. It's going to get dirty again, but I've cleaned it up.
Yeah. You know what the thing is with emails though? They'll never stop. You'll die. The next day your inbox will be full. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And it's about giving those to the team members that have the capabilities to answer those questions. And I find once you do that with the right training, their reply is better than mine anyway, because they've got more time.
Yeah.
Yeah. My favorite type of email, and I'm pretty sure it's your favorite type of email too. It's when I get an email from someone that said, "Hey, George, been listening to the podcast for quite some time and just want to let you know that I've subscribed."
Very much so.
I know it's your favorite. And after this episode, it's going to be Sam's favorite too.
Yeah.
And people can do that at any time and also email us as well, especially Sam direct. Let him know.
Yeah. Call his phone.
Cool. Give him his number, his new personal number.
No, that's only for us, George. Yeah. Otherwise, I'll have to go get another one. Yeah.
So were you speaking to your GM whilst you were away?
Yeah. So you've obviously got to touch base, and, you got to let the GM grow as well.
Yeah.
Josh doesn't come from an accounting background, like we've mentioned, but he threw himself in to learn that. But he's got, the managers there in place. If there is a technical question, he's not going to be able to.
Yeah, that's right. He's got the
want to
people.
spend his time on that.
But it's also now he's effectively a business owner and he now knows the numbers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's the same thing for him, even though he's not an accountant. He can tell you, yeah, this is where our GP is. This is our balance sheet. Like these are all the things that he needs to know, and he can report that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I think that what you're saying is he can't, if there's a technical issue with a client, he can't solve it.
Yeah.
Because it's not his, it's like, I can't build a house. Correct. Probably run a building business.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Same as me. I'm not a qualified carpenter. But the funny thing is, I can, probably not the best example. I still tell people what to do, but to physically do it, I probably wouldn't be able to, or I'd be significantly slower than someone that's been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah. And again, it's learning how to move yourself away. So hire great people and get out of their way. Something that we learn, right? And one of the best things coming back was we've got staff members that are starting with us, and I didn't even know. It wasn't part of the process. So you walk in there on the Monday that we came back and we have the firm meeting.
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, you're can I help you?
Who are you? And she's like, yeah, I'm working for Philanger & Co. And I was like, oh, that's great.
Good.
And then I was like, hey, Josh. And he's like, yeah, we've got it sorted. Don't worry about it. It's done.
Dude, that is actually the greatest feeling in the world. I can't wait to do that. When people walk in, they say, Robbie's here. That doesn't work. It's just some, but
The other side of that is when clients walk in and you don't know them. That's the best feeling.
Yeah.
yeah, because you're like, this is now. Yeah.
Well, but it's like we're growing without Samuel Philanger and Alessia Philanger in the business, which is unbelievable. And it's great. The manager might have got the referral, solidified the client. They've gone on an onboarding process, signed up to our engagements, and you're just like, this is now working. So it's one thing to run the business as it is, but to grow it while you're not in it is the goal. To have more revenue without you, I believe, is the ultimate goal.
It stipulates that you built a system that is actually working.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's like a machine.
Yeah.
Right. And it's got the acquisition. People are coming in. It's got the ability to fill the work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's two sides to business, right? It's team, like employees. It's both people-based, employees and clients.
Yep.
And if you got this and you got that, this thing can grow to whatever you want it to be at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, but I think that was one of our greatest achievements. Like, you're seeing clients come on board while you're not there.
Yeah, that's great.
And like you said, you've built the process and you built the team to be able to do that. It was one of the best feelings I've ever had being a business owner. coming back. And also, like I said, you walk in and there's a new team member and the desk is set up and everything's set up for them. And again, it comes down to your process building. Your operations from that perspective is where we've been, or what we've been spending our time and resources in for the last few years, is building that process, our SOPs internally.
And it's a big journey.
Massive.
Yeah, it's not, you
It's
think,
not like,
I'll do it in 90 days. Like, I'll have it done by next quarter. It's like, it's almost never ending.
yeah, unless you got someone to focus on something like that, like the implementation of a production software, and don't get me wrong, we haven't got it perfect, but we've probably got it perfect from, we get feedback from Carbon directly, and we've probably got it better than 99% of accounting firms of our size, because we've spent the time in it to understand it. It's like people that rely on, from a construction perspective, Procore or Builder Exact or Builder Trend, they think they're just going to plug this thing in and it's going to run itself. Unless you understand it and tailor it towards your own business, you're going to be blaming the software.
Oh, dude, the people do CRMs all the time.
Yeah, exactly right.
All the time.
Oh, it's too expensive. It didn't work.
I just signed up to HubSpot. Everything's fixed. You're like, that's not how this works.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and again, we had to, from mentoring, put in a CRM. Takes time. Tailoring the CRM to your business.
Spot on. To your business, how you do things.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and the steps involved in onboarding, it might be simple, but you can imagine from our perspective, name, date of birth, tax file number, bringing them on through tax agent portal, ASIC, ABR, ATO. So there's so many things that you've got to do, put the checklist into your CRM. Where'd the referral come from? Their kids' names, their favorite cup of tea, like
birthdays.
Yeah, that's what we've been spending our last solid 2 to 3 years. And Josh and Alessia are in charge of that. And it's now coming to fruition for all of that. Now you can add on the marketing side to Salesforce with Pardo. And that's where we're starting to see what we can do.
Use Salesforce?
Yeah. We see we implemented Salesforce. Yeah, we had to get it tailored. We had to get an external developer to tailor it to Phalange & Co. And again, an additional cost up front. However, we've heard from clients and other people out there, unless you tailor it, you've sort of got a box, which won't suit, and then you'll end up blaming the software, which we didn't want to do. So you spend a little bit more to get it tailored. And now, where leads came in, which is vitally important, who the referral was, because it's sometimes really good because you get raving fans, right? So if they're referring you, why don't you just sit down with them, or take them to dinner, or take them on a boat, or give them something extra at Christmas, because they're your raving fans about getting you new business.
Yeah.
And without Salesforce, it's just like Joe Bloggs referred me, and it's just like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
But now you got this data behind it.
It's like a place where you can go and look and say, okay, cool, who's giving us the most referrals? It's correct. We've got 5 tickets to this game. Who are we going to, which client are we
Exactly right. And that's where it's not always, someone's a good client. It's more about data. Everything's about data.
And there's the fun part about business too. Because how good does it feel doing that? Call them, hey, just want to show my appreciation. Here's 5 VIP tickets to the basketball.
Only if I can go.
It's an excuse. You go, honey, sorry, it's a business. Like, I've got to go.
Yeah. But yeah, data for us, and now analyzing data, because when you grow, you need to be able to manage things from a high level. And unless you've got those, processes or subscriptions or CRMs in place, it's all lick the finger and put it into the wind about where things have come from or where things are up to. We're constantly reviewing from a high level, and also, implementation of dashboards. Once you've got the data, can it even be facilitated or put into another dashboard that's easier for the business owners to review?
Yeah.
So for us, it's like, where are all the basses up to right now with a couple of weeks left? Do I need to get back and roll my sleeves up and help the team out? Do I need to sit down with the managers, making sure they're okay?
Is that something you're willing to do?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you don't ever turn around and say, nah, fuck you, I'm the CEO now, bitch. Like, you do it.
No. So once a week, for the full day, I sit with both managers with any roadblocks that they've got. We've got one manager who's been there for 2.5 years and one that's been there for 7 years. So you've got everyone has roadblocks, and it's about helping them grow just to get the job out. And if that means that the client's got to come in, the client's got to come in. But the next goal for them is, and for myself, is to make sure that I'm not in any client meetings, not only taking calls, but any client meetings. Only at my discretion will I want to jump in. And don't get me wrong, I love to jump into every meeting, right? Because I love to talk. But again, trying to let go of that to do other things like the community event or helping HSC students go one level deeper and trying to teach the HSC students what a P&L and a balance sheet and GST and what life's really about rather than technical. That's where
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click just over here. Or if you want to watch the full episode, you can click over here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.